Welcome to Exploring Alaska Native Voices, a show about the evolving character of Alaska Indigenous life in a world society. As this song says, come together, all as one.
My name is Sonia Vint, and I'm here with Village Spirit in the City, who's hosted by Sobermiut, a nonprofit organization where I serve as the president. Sobermiut means sober people. Today we're hosting a Village Spirit in the City. We're inviting the whole city, basically, of Anchorage to come join us in celebration of sobriety, and we're raising funds for a Native Community Center. We also put on a village dance in the city that's during the AFN, Alaska Federations of Natives Convention, in the third week in October.
If they're freeing me from this prison, if that railroad train was mine, then I'd move it on a little farther down the line. Far from prison, that's where I long to stay. And I'd let that lonesome whistle blow my blues away. Oh, we're going home. Give it up for the dancers out there one time. Yeah.
We're hoping the center is going to be a multi-purpose center, like the Kashim in the southeast, where people get together and they do healing and do a lot of their arts and crafts. It's very grassroots, where people gather. It could also be used for funerals when one of our local Indigenous people pass on. You know, it's a time of celebration. We want to get together during that time and have a place to celebrate, and also to have our own native foods. That's really important to us, to have our own native foods where we could enjoy it without offending others. I'm a Baha'i. Alcohol is looked at as something that's a poison to the body, and I don't think other religions really talk about that, but the Baha'i faith spills it out.
We're here to fundraise for a new community hall. I want to challenge every one of you, everyone that can hear me. I got $10. Who's got a hat? Bring your hat here. I want you all put $1 with my $10. If you're going to get a community hall and it's going to be grassroots, you got to do it yourself. All the big organizations around here ain't going to help you. It ain't going to happen. If you want a place to have gatherings, dinners, funerals, potlucks, all them kind of things, we ourselves got to do it ourselves. Thank you. We have a couple going already. How about the rest of you? Come on, that's what we're here for. Put some money in the hat. We have a committee going to take care of that kind of thing, I guess. Including us all for this idea. We should have community hall in Anchorage. We watched many times where the Heritage Center was one of the things we thought, oh, there's community hall. No, we can't even hardly go over there. Indians aren't allowed over there. What kind of deal is that? New Surrey building, CITC building, hospital, all them kind of things. Indian people need a hall. I don't know how hard that is to understand. So, let's show the world, hey, we never rely on anybody before. Thank you, sir. We don't need to rely on anybody now. We'll all do it ourselves. And we look forward to the day and welcome onto our property. All our family. What can you say? So we appreciate your help, and we look forward to the day we open a new hall. So thank you, Chinan. Thank you.
And I think in my mind, in my experience, and looking at my family, so many of my family members that still live in multiple villages, the value of sober living and not having dependencies can't be overstated. The ability for us to perpetuate the cultural values and the strengths of our ancestors forward is predicated on not having dependencies that we're a slave to. And I think this organization has an honorable mission, and it's one that should be supported, that the only thing we should be a slave to is honoring our heritage and teaching our children and the future generations of that, and embracing it, as it says, the spirit of the village right here in Anchorage, Alaska. Again, let's never forget the largest village in this state. We're right downtown in it right now. Thank you.
Yeah, let's give it a big hand for President Lee Stephan. Sheesh.
Tanwanok, son of Sophia Lorena, Tanwanok from the native village of Wales. But most people know me by Gregory Nostine. Well, I've been sober for the last 27 years. I suffer from an incurable disease that most people treat like leprosy. You admit that you have alcoholism or cured alcoholism, they're like, oh, well, good to see that you're sober. Well, a lot of people are happy that I'm sober, and a lot of people that are sober here are happy that they're sober too. But I'd much rather celebrate this sort of event than listen to the statistical analysis of all the problems that Alaska Native communities are facing with the challenge of alcohol consumption. You know, when the Alaska Federation of Natives Blue Ribbon Commission back in the day had responded to the People in Peril series that the Anchorage Daily News did and pulled the sheets off what was happening in the Native community through suicide and alcohol consumption. The immediate response was, what are we going to do differently? And the wisdom of the Blue Ribbon Commission was this. You know, we've got all these state and federal funded programs, prevention programs, all focusing and educating the public to the dangers and abuses of alcoholism. What can we do differently that's not being done? And in the wisdom, their collective wisdom, they decided, well, no one's talking about sobriety. No one's reinforcing people who are sober, you know, and publicly coming out. And back then, it was General John Schaefer who led the charge at the AFN convention, and he said, I suffer from this, but I've quit. And I've said no more from now on. And we kind of just followed his lead on that. You know, one thing we all want to do is recognize, reinforce, and appreciate the example set by our people who are leading a sober lifestyle. Who's leading the charge to champion this lifestyle that so many of our Native people are beginning to grasp? You know, we got the zombies walking the streets, panhandling, but then we also have the people who are sobering up and need a place to go to reinforce one another in the lifestyle they've chosen. This is an effort to do that very thing. And it's a grassroots effort, and it doesn't take federal funds, it doesn't take state funding, but we're going to help the state with its statute. And the statute for the Alcoholism and Intoxication Treatment Act states, its policy is, it's a policy of this state to recognize, reinforce, and appreciate the example set by its citizens who lead, believe, and support a life of sobriety. We didn't say anything against drinking at all. We just wanted to say we've got sober people in our communities, we want to help them, we want to recognize them, we want to appreciate them, and a lot of them get a lot of flack from other people who've adopted this non-Native cultural norm and tradition of consuming mood, mind altering beverages. You know, if you can't keep your culture, you're going to lose it. And a lot of that is attributed in some part, not all part, in some part to practicing the cultural norms and traditions with consuming mood, mind altering beverages. You can glamorize it, rationalize it, and it gets reinforced all over the place, and you've got whole establishments, towns even, the whole avenue even, set up around the socio-economic cultural norm that consumption of mood, mind altering beverages is okay. And for the most part it is, for those who are responsible and do their thing. But for those who are having a challenge and they want to be surrounded by people who don't drink, this is where you go. This is what we do. This is how we do it. Celebrate the positive instead of mourn the negative. I mean, you stand for something or fall for anything. It's that same motif. It's that same motto. If you can't practice your culture, you're going to lose it. Well, I think that's pretty much a universal law, because if we can't practice sobriety, reinforce sobriety, or the message that wellness sobriety brings, we're not going to see a lot of it in the Native community. People are living sober, and they attribute it to the life of sobriety. But you're hearing more about wellness, which is a good thing. But once you become sober, all the wellness starts to happen.
My name is Sheila Randazzo. My family's from Shishmaraf. I'm Inupiaq. Sidamon is my maiden name. And I am on the planning committee for the Village Spirit in the city. I'm also a board member with Sobermiut. I'm one of the founding board members. And it's been in existence since 2005. We have our articles of incorporation and our 501c3, and we want to make an impact in our community, a positive impact. I've just known many people in my life who have been impacted by drugs and alcohol, including myself. And it's an ongoing epidemic that continues to hurt our people and our young people. The facility itself is just to house our community. What we dream for, what we yearn for, is a place to gather, to heal from all of the difficulties that our community struggles with, to support one another, to start a movement of sobriety and healthy living, because it really will have to come from our community. And we hope that it can spread throughout Alaska and spread into our families, into homes and into our young people, so that they want to be healthy like we once were. We invite people to help us, because we need help in order to build our community, our healthy community. It's a grassroots effort. It's a movement that we want, and so we can't do this on our own. So if you know anyone who is willing to help us, please contact us. We'd be more than happy to take as many helpers as possible. What we would love to have also is a place to start from. We don't need a huge building to begin with. We are willing to start small and grow. So if anyone's willing to help make this happen, we're welcome to have you take part. We have a Facebook page. You can message us on our Facebook page, Sobermiut Reviving Our Spirit. We also have a First People of Alaska Community Coalition Facebook page, which is a committee under Sobermiut, gathering partners to come together to work on this project together as a community.